Welcome everyone to Compliance Weekly, 1st of July 2025. Um, First of all, we'll start with the milestone board walkthrough. I'll share my screen. I think the last one that was discussed was cannot add multiple controls to compliance one. The next one is add toggle between old and new violation reports. Sam.
Yeah. This is for our new violations report. We're adding a toggle to let people switch from our new report back to the old one in case they need it.
Next one is on Scott. Share more information about the compliance controls selected when mapping internal compliance controls to requirements.
Yes, I verified this one. So there's in our list of controls, when you select them inside of a requirement, it was hard to get any context around what the controls meant. So now there's the description pops up in a little tooltip as well, to give you more context on the controls.
Next one is again on Scott. Add ability to change status with dropdown. Change status with dropdown. I think it's related to the violations detail page where you can update the status of the violation. Next one is on need enhance existing OAuth application authorization audit event.
Yeah, so we had when you create an OAuth application in GitLab, there was an audit event, but it was using the old audit event service. So switched it over to use the new auditor thing and added in a bunch of custom details into the additional details field around like the scopes and the application ID and things like that. So nice easy one.
Next one is on Elia, ensure read compliance permission for new report.
Yeah, so this fixing that the user with custom role to access compliance report, but not having any other roles was unable to reach compliance report. This is now fixed.
Next one is compliance filter badge reverts to text. Elia.
Yeah, same for me. So previously when you had a filter and you've selected the compliance framework for filtering, it reverted to the text representation. Now we unify it all compliance filters across the all compliance center, and now they nicely display compliance page.
Anything else to discuss over here? Things which are in verification or any other issue? Let's move on to the planning issue. Uh, First one is on Harsima. Cells 1.0.
Yes. So the key set pagination MR is in final review stages. I think it should get merged this week. Um, Next, we need to implement offset pagination, on which I'm currently thinking of a solution, as we need to combine 4 different tables and then apply offset pagination, which is very inefficient. So I'm researching on a solution and will update on it.
Next one is on John, instance level compliance and policy management.
Yep. Yeah, just working on that at the moment. I think the first of the merge requests are merging at the moment. So yeah, that opens up merging a few other ones after this. So yeah, still going. I think it's on target, but yeah, it's getting tighter.
Next one is on Halsimar and Ilya, group compliance overview dashboard.
I can give backend update. So first 3 charts API is merged, and the last API for the framework needing attention is in review right now. Just the database review is pending. I hope it should get merged in 2-3 days.
Ilya.
Yeah, for front end, the initial dashboard feature flag and the first report is merged. The 2 pie charts are in review, and the very last one is being finished by me, which is waiting for actually the final API to be merged.
Next one is on Josefa and Sam, link violations to framework controls.
Yes, we're making good progress on that. The initial list view has been merged. The back end, the detail view has also been merged. We're still working on fleshing it out. We're currently next implementing getting the actual audit events into the list and the details, and also the status updates drop down. The mutation is not linked yet.
I can give some status updates for backend. On this, the APIs for audit event for fetching audit events for a compliance violation is in review. The mutation for updating the status of violation is again in review. I'm working on MRs for creating mutations for linking, delinking, and listing issues related to violation. And Josefa has created one MR for detecting the violations from the audit events. So I'm again reviewing it, and it's most likely to good to go. The other one, the next one is consolidation of tables for streaming audit events to me. Andrew has created some more MRs for fixing uh, the streaming token, and there are several more MRs related to uh, headers and syncing of data between old and new tables.
Yeah, I reviewed a couple of those. I can get a little more detail. We had some debugging sessions end of last week, and I think we hopefully have found the real root cause of the broken, corrupt destinations this time. So fingers crossed, the fourth time's a charm.
I know we're 2 weeks out from the end of the milestone. Well, just under 2 weeks. How does everyone feel about the milestone goals that we've got there? Because a lot of them is to complete most of it. And are we tracking towards that? Or is there something that we can do to unblock or help push it forward?
I'll go for link violations. I think it'll be a close one from where it's looking right now and the rate we're merging MRs at. I think we might be able to speed it up if we sort of do what we did for the status report, where we try to focus down getting reviews through. I think that's where a lot of it is caught up right now. Yeah, and I think one thing we could probably do is get the 2 MRs that Hitesh has in the pipeline, get those unblocked and get those merged would probably help a lot to keep momentum going.
The audit event MR is almost ready to merge. It has the required approvals. There was a minor comment from Josefa regarding the text, the documentation changes, that's it. Other than that, that's good to go. Yeah, I'll need some help in pushing past the linking, delinking issues MRs, as well as the one MR that is in review for updating the status of the violation.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe we should look at switching to a more Slack prone communication over the next week or so. I'm just trying to think about how we can speed things up a little bit because I know we're getting close to time. But yeah, just let me know if there's any way that I can help to push things through as well.
All right.
Um, we don't have any design or queue update. And now moving on to engineering dashboards. Nick, would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, if you switch the product group filter to compliance, the second one in, the second filter in, yeah. So what we're trying to do with the new quality dashboards is manage it directly through Snowflake and use this because you should all have access to this now. And so we're going to try prove out a lot of these engineering metrics within Snowflake as we don't have access to the Tableau dashboards. From what I've had a look through this, everything looks pretty darn good in the compliance group at the moment. You can see we've only got severity 3 or severity 4 bugs according to this, and a downtick in a lot of a lot of these graphs.
The bugs have been reduced to 1.
Yeah. So overall, this is looking great. We still need to add a lot of other metrics to this, but yeah, please keep this in mind. There's some InfraDev ones there that we've just closed out. I can see there's a couple that are still in progress that I know Andrew's working on. One of the interesting ones there was the MR average time to merge. The next graph down, which has how many MRs merged? 56. And an average time of 293 hours per MR, which is quite interesting. So something to keep in mind, and why I was asking if there's anything I can do to help severely reduce this number.
Yeah.
So does this also account for the MR that for the period in which the MR was in draft stage?
I don't
It
believe
probably
so.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It probably
that's
doesn't check. Yeah.
Because yeah, we tend to keep some MRs in draft for some period of time. We may not get enough time for that, or it might get deprioritized.
correct.
Yeah. I'm guilty of that as well. Yeah.
I do that too a lot.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying we should change our processes. If it works for you, that's fine. It's just if there is a way that we could speed it up, how we do reviews. I know John's looking at that, but
Yeah, but sometimes it's not even about the review. It's you work on something, you shift priority to something else, so you park it in draft until you get back to it. Maybe that's 2 months later, and then it takes you a couple hours more work, and it gets merged. But the merge time is then like 3 months.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
that's where the average of like over, what was it, on 200 something hours? Is that?
it would be interesting if we redid those stats, but then like chopped off the really big ones, like to get rid of that scenario. Like that'd be interesting because I think that would give us like a more accurate number of what's maybe happening. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's still too high probably, but yeah,
Can we
it's
get a
just
distribution curve instead of just a number? I want a histogram.
Can ask.
That would be a neat one.
In discussions, we have one from Josefa. Uh, he has created a feature flag enable project compliance violations or the DMA and used it at the backend. So do we have a feature flag at the front end for this, or do you want to keep the same one?
We are already using some feature flag. I don't know the exact name off the top of my head already. But we do have a feature flag. I can look it up.
Anything else that needs to be discussed? Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining. Stopping the recording.